they're going to be accepting this deal. What is next for this? Let's go for it. So, with Twitter's acceptance of Elon's roughly $44 billion takeover bid, he's now one step closer to owning the social media platform. The deal is expected to close sometime this year, but before that, shareholders still have to weigh in, as well as regulators in the US and in countries where Twitter does business before the deal is completed. The process is off to a good start for Musk, given that Twitter's board has unanimously approved his offer and is recommending shareholders do the same. Upon announcing the deal Monday, Twitter noted that the bid, which represents a 38% premium to the company's closing stock price on April 1st, is a substantial cash premium and would be the best path forward for Twitter's stockholders. When Twitter's board adopted an anti-takeover provision known as a poison pill just 10 days ago, the move was widely seen as a telltale sign that the directors were gearing up to rebuff Musk's opening offer, or perhaps seek another suitor willing to pay more. But the battleground shifted dramatically late last week when Musk disclosed he had lined up $46.5 billion, including $21 billion of his personal fortune, to pay for the purchase. Musk said other investors could contribute to the financing. The locked-in financing not only underscored the seriousness of Musk's pursuit, but also appeared to open the door to other large Twitter shareholders interested in hearing more about his plans for the San Francisco company. We see that the details of those conversations aren't known, but Musk could point to more than a 20-year history building and running several businesses, CEO of Twitter, Tesla. So we see here with our track record here that shareholders might welcome a shakeup as well as an opportunity to cash out of their investment. Before Musk disclosed his 9% stake in Twitter earlier this month, the shares were trading below $40. Now, that much more it in its $26 price when Twitter went public in November 2013. Since then, the tech-driven Nasdaq has more than tripled, even after a recent downturn. Twitter has been a laggard because the company has struggled to revenue growth compared to the two dominant forces in digital advertising, Google and Facebook. Meanwhile, Tesla stock is now worth nearly 300 times more than when it went public in 2010, and after struggling to make money for more than a decade, automaker is now extremely profitable, like wild, a net income of $3.3 billion. So what happens next? As is customary, once a company agrees to be acquired, the buyer gets to take a close look at its books to make sure there aren't any red flags. So this step in the process isn't likely to cause any obstacles for the deal. He's acquiring the company, not from a financial perspective. We already know that. He's not interested in the economics. He's interested in the freedom of speech platform. What say could regulators have? Well, last year, Twitter generated $5 billion in revenue, with $2.8 billion from the US and the rest earned overseas. So the Federal Trade Commission in the US or the European Commission in the EU are among regulatory agencies that may review the proposed Twitter buyout. So the main issues there are the agencies generally focus on are how the sale of a company could affect competition in a particular industry, and whether that will violate antitrust laws. The review could take months or longer, but generally represent more of a potential hurdle when two companies in the same industry are combining. So in the case of a single buyer, it's about whether ownership already has a large stake in companies within the same industry. Neither Tesla nor Musk's other company, SpaceX, are social media platforms, so antitrust concerns are not expected to arise. When do shareholders get to vote? Well, the deal is expected to close in 2022, subject to the approval of Twitter shareholders. Twitter hasn't announced the timing of a shareholder vote, though the company's annual meeting is set for May 25th, which could offer a convenient time to poll shareholders. What about Twitter leadership? At this early stage, it's unclear what will happen to Twitter's current board or management team if the deal is completed, but Musk has made it abundantly clear that he believes the company has been poorly run. That assessment is a strong indication that Musk's takeover, whatever it be, will also include a purge of Twitter's top ranks. Here we are. That's our movement there. Now, the other piece to consider is that if there is that buyback on those shares, that Twitter shareholders could be getting that 54.20. Now, the other part here that I believe is interesting is that we do see that Jack Dorsey weighed in on this and said that Elon Musk is the singular solution I trust to run Twitter. Posted a Spotify link to a Radiohead song of Everything in Its Right Place. And I kid you not, everyone, I just got chills. I decided to listen to Radiohead's Kid A, that album, on my jog yesterday or the day before that. And I love that song, and that's on that the doo dum boom ba ba dum 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 ba doo dun 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 dun. That's a hot one. So great that Jack Dorsey did that one. He said Musk is the singular solution I trust. Said that Twitter is the biggest regret in how it has operated as a company. This is all from Jack Dorsey. We see here his tweet here: the idea and service is all that matters to me, and I will do whatever it takes to protect both. Twitter as a company has always been my sole issue and my biggest regret. It has been owned by Wall Street and the ad model. Taking it back from Wall Street is the correct first step. In principle, I don't believe anyone should own or run Twitter. It wants to be a public good at a protocol level, not a company. Solving for the problem of it being a company, however, Elon is the singular solution I trust. I trust his mission to extend the light of consciousness. Yeah, I love that type of stuff when they're getting into that area, because it's really not about the economics of the company, and it's about doing something good there. I think that's pretty cool. All right. So that is our big old Twitter talk. And hopefully we learned some stuff there. Felt right. And we're going to check in now on some futures. We got the Dow's down a little bit,